Hello and welcome to GLATD, Girl Let's Agree to Disagree. I am your host, Jessica Milagros, and today we are going to be talking to Big Brother 24's latest evicted house guest, Amira. Before bringing her on, I want to let you all know that we only had 5 minutes to really conduct this interview, which means that there were not many follow-up questions, but I did extend the invitation for her to come back at a later time to kind of go into a deeper dive. With that being said, let's welcome Amira. Good. Okay. Hi, Amira. How are you?
Hi, I'm fine, all things considering. How are you?
Good. Yeah, this has been kind of a crazy week for you. So I know that you're still digesting some things. And so how much right now, like, are you like up to date? Are you still like thinking things through on like what exactly happened?
Yeah, I'm not up to date. I only know that there was this leftover crew that took me out. I am still putting together all the pieces. I am still running through every single conversation I have had in the last 48 hours, seeing who manipulated me, who lied to me, like how did they do it? And I'm still putting all those pieces together.
You plan on like watching the episodes back, watching my feeds? Like what do you feel as of right now that you'll be doing?
I think that I am definitely going to not watch live feeds right now. I think I'm going to get my mental health in check, make sure that's aligned and great first. And then I'm going to go back and watch those episodes to see how it played out and like who was doing what things at what time so that they can kind of like close all these loose ends in my mind.
So you did have a lot of alliances in the house. Like you came in and you were kind of one of the most active in the decision makings in the house. But you still told Julie that you felt like you were going home, even though you also said that it was really easy. So there was a little bit of contradiction. Why if you felt like you weren't safe, why did you not campaign as hard other than just asking people, if you had their vote?
I trusted my alliances. So I would both between my two alliances, I had like almost the entire house. And so like I trusted them, especially the girls, like I knew them. And then the guys, like a lot of times, like they wouldn't even like try to talk. They just be like, you're good. Like, got you, you're good. And I'm like, okay. Like they're like, you're good, Amira. I swear. Like I would talk to them in groups throughout the day. So like I would talk to Kyle and Monty at the same time. Michael was always around. So I would talk to him. And then of course I did do it with the girls, obviously, because I'm always with them. And then with Taylor, I did go to her one-on-one and I'm like, look, I think you're voting for Terrence, but if you're not, because I know that her and Terrence were close from the very beginning.
Yeah.
So I thought that I was campaigning, apparently not, because that's what I keeps getting mentioned. But in my mind, I thought that I was good with the alliance and that they were going to have my back because I definitely had, like with the post pack, I thought that they had my back because I had theirs.
But you are also kind of included in a lot of information, a lot of conversations, and you were actually there when the whole Taylor Nicole situation happened, and then you also saw what had happened with Daniel and how Daniel kind of treated her afterwards. And I remember that you briefly stated that you felt like she was coming from a good place, but he kind of wasn't having it. However, there's still this feeling amongst all of the house members. And I think that America's a little confused. Some of us are a little confused. If you can shine the light on why half of the house was not particularly fond of, Taylor, what was it about her particularly?
So from the very beginning, she was standoffish from the girls. And so she was only talking to the guys in the beginning. And so the girls automatically felt like she was going to be group with them and she was going to be a girls guy and like do her thing with them. And so immediately like there was no trust there because you come into this game, we're coming in strong and we're thinking like, okay, we got to keep ourselves safe. Let's do this alliance. Her and Nicole are out there with the guys. Like, let's not include them in this alliance. And then from there, the big event that happened was in the very beginning when there was an altercation between Paloma, Monty, and Taylor. Now, Monty and Paloma are both in my alliance, so I automatically believe what they said. I still don't know what actually happened because I haven't seen it yet, but I sided with them during this situation because that's what they told me. They're in my alliance, so I believe them versus Taylor. And then Paloma ended up, having some issues in the house, and so people really came to her defense. And that was the big thing that kicked this all off. And from that point, people were finding a lot of little things to complain about with her, and it just all started stacking up until people sometimes that was, so that time with Daniel, I was in the room with Nicole, and that was the first time I was actually in the room to witness one of these events happening. So I got to see for myself for the first time. I'm like, hey, that didn't come off that way to me. So I was confused. And like, after this event, I'm running all this through my mind, and I'm like, over the last couple of days, like, were all these things that were said, were they true? I don't know. I'm only taking, what I hear. And so I think that once the Paloma thing happened, I think that everyone just kind of got on the defensive end with Taylor and didn't want to work with her.
I hate that we can't really get to the nitty gritty of all of it. But you know what? I would really love if you would be willing to come on our podcast, Girl, Let's Agree to Disagree. And we could definitely kind of deep dive into some of the things once you are all caught up and, of course, checked in with your mental health. I know as someone who played the game, that that is very necessary. So
yeah, I would love to deep dive. I think it's going to help me a lot, and I would love to hear from you all too about where I misstepped. So definitely looking forward to that.
Awesome. Okay, well, we will see you soon.
Yay, thank you.